Hi, good evening everybody. Today is the day 44 of Gear Up Mains Answer Writing. In this week, we are discussing the question related to science and technology. In this program, you people are learning how to decode a question, how to break down a question into multiple parts, exactly what is the demand of the question, how we can address the different demand of the question in a coherent manner. What can be a suitable data, how we can include example, and how we can introduce the case study in an answer. Today the day 44 means we already discussed the 43 questions related to different subjects, even it's history, geography, polity, society, economy, environment, and now we are discussing the question of science and technology. This is a regular program from Monday to Friday. I am discussing the question from 6 p.m. onwards. We are providing you the question in Telegram groups of the Edukemy. You can also write the answer and submit to the portal. So your answer can be easily evaluated by our experts mentor. So whenever any aspirant is writing the answer, there is a problem of understanding of the question, problem of exactly what content is required, problem how I can introduce example, problem of structuring of the questions, coherence in between the question, and the specific data, case study, facts, how I can introduce, how I can make the subheadings. So these all problems we are taking up in these kind of sessions. So please watch all the videos we already covered so you have a clear idea exactly what UPSC is demanding from you. Until and unless if you are not following the demand of the examination, it is not easy to crack the exam. Okay, so let's start with the today's question. The today's question is related to the biotechnology. The question is, why is there so much activity in the field of biotechnology in our country, and how has this activity benefited the field of biopharma? Means the question is specifically related to the biotechnology. This comes under the GS3 science and technology part, and the question is asking us about why there is an increase in the activity, why there is an increase in the activity in field of biotechnology, why there is an increase in the activity in the field of biotechnology. We need to be address this part. Then we need to address about region of increase in the activity. The first part is demanding why is there so much activity. So whenever you are reading a question, your first impression should be how I can break the question into multiple parts. So here the first part, why is there so much activity in the field of biotechnology in our country? So we break this part into the two sub part: activity, increase in the activity of biotechnology, and the reason behind an increase in the activity. So we break the first part of the question into the two sub part. Now come to the second part of the question: how has this activity benefited the field of biopharma? So they are specifying the field of biopharma. So in the second part of the question, we need to address the activity benefited the field of biopharma. Benefit to field of biopharma. So this is the core demand of the question in the body part. The first, why there is increase in the activity in the case of the biotechnology. If there is increase in the activity, what's the reason behind the increase in the activity? And then finally, what is the benefit in the case of the biopharma? So this is the main core demand. As usual, we are dividing the question into three parts. One is the introduction, then body part, and finally conclusion. In body part, we will address these issues and we will define the introduction and the conclusion. Okay. So let's start with the introduction first. Biotechnology. What does it mean? Biotechnology, the word is mix up of biology plus technology. Biology plus technology, which form the field biotechnology. Biotechnology is a field of science in which we are using the different kind of the organism, different kind of the reactions, even it may be the polymerase chain reactions, even maybe the different kind of reactions. We are using the bacteria, fungi, gene editing techniques to increase the production of different kind of the products. The products may be the health related products, it may be the GMO crops, it may be the GMO organism also. So in the introduction, we will define exactly what is biotechnology. Simply in the 20 words, we will define the biotechnology with the 1 or 2 examples here. So introduction will be the simple part. Now let's come to the body part. In the body part, firstly we need to be addressed why there is an increase. Why there is an increase in the field of biotechnology. इतना सारा activity क्यों हो रहा है biotechnology में? So let's start first. So in the body first part, we will address immense activity, immense increase in the field of biotechnology. The first is academic initiative. One of the biggest reason when any field grow, if there is a academic courses, if there is a academic courses related to that specific field, like we can say BTech in biotech, BSc biotechnology, PhD in biotechnology. So availability of the courses, and after completion of the courses, availability of the employment opportunity. So there is academic initiatives, different courses which lead to the increase in the field of the biotechnology, which leads to the increase in the activity. The first reason is the academic initiatives in the field of biotechnology. Second, we will come to the research and developmental activity. In the last few years, we can say in the last 20 years, post 2000, there is an increase in the research and developmental activities. Even in the some of the government programs which lead to the increase in research and development activities at the college level, at the level of the institution, and at the postdoctorate level also. So there is an increase in the research and the developmental activity in the biotechnology fields, which lead to the generation of the new products, and which is one of the reasons of the increase in the immense activity in the biotech. Next, the international collaboration. The Department of Biotechnology is tying up with the various international institutions, which give its a pace to increase in the activity. The tying up with the different international institutions means the transfer of technology will be there, the learning will be there, how we can use this technology, how we can grow these field, specifically field into the various kind of the initiatives, the development of the vaccine, the development of the bioplastics, the degradation of the plastics, biomoleculars. In the case of the molecular diagnosis, gene therapy, all are developed through the research development and the international collaboration. So through the international collaboration, there is an increase in the field of biotech. And the last but not the least, the increase in the funding. The funding is the biggest game changer here. The government is investing, Indian government is investing in the field of biotechnology, and there are also some of the big corporate houses, big private firms which are investing in this field. After seeing what's the future of the field, they are now coming and investing into the biotechnology. So these are some of the regions which leads to increase in the activity in the field of biotech. So this is the first part that you need to be addressed, which is completely addressing the keywords of the question, immense activities in the field of biotech. Now we need to be addressed the reason behind it. Why there is a increase, means human beings are getting some of the advantage from this field, even its advantage related to the production in the case of the BT cotton, even its advantage in the case of the vaccination during the COVID-19 crisis, even it's the advantage in the case of the diagnosis through the molecular diagnosis, even in the case of the environmental field. These advantage of this technology, these futuristic advantage of this technology is the one of the biggest reason why there is immense activities in this field. So let's see what can be the example, the region of increase in the activity in the field of biotechnology. The number one, agriculture. Here we can give the example of the BT cotton. We can give the example of the BT brinjal. After introduction of the BT cotton, there is an increase in the production of cotton per acre from 300 hectares to the 500 hectares. 300 ton hectares to the 500 ton hectares means there is an increase in the 60% production. There is an increase of 60% production in the field of agriculture due to the biotechnology. If we are seeing in the case of the industrial application in the production of liquor, in the production of alcohol, or in the production of the various industrial syrup, this technology has a huge potential, and due to the main activity, due to this technology, there is an increase in the production in this field, and which leads to the liquor, alcohol and the syrup. In the case of environment, we can say the biodegradable plastic, or we can say the bioplastic. In the case of environment, the biodegradable plastic, bioplastics, even through the biotechnology, we are introducing some kind of the modified mosquitoes or the modified organism, modified mosquito to tackle the population of the malaria and the dengue. So these are the environmental benefits. Even in the case of the cleaning of the river water, we are introducing the biotechnology there also. The cleaning of the oil spills in the case of the sea leak. So these are the, like in a case of environment, in a case of industrial application, in a case of agriculture. These are reasons why there is an increase in this field. In the case of medicine, in the production of vaccine, production of other drugs, production of insulin. And this process make these production very cheaper and at a very higher pace. So these are some of the reasons. Even the research activities also increase due to the funding, due to the academic issues, due to the post-employments in the case of biotech. So these are some of the reasons for increased activity in the field of biotechnology. Now we need to be addressed the last part of the question as well. The last part of the question is about what's the benefit in the case of biopharma. What's the benefit of biotechnology in the case of biopharma. So let's see what's the advantage of the biotechnology, what's the benefit of the biotechnology in the case of biopharma. The first is the gene therapy. Gene therapy. This is a genetic engineering process. It's a genetic engineering process through the restriction endonuclease enzyme, or we can say through the CRISPR-Cas9. We are using this technology for gene therapy, introducing the new gene, deleting the gene, producing the newer type of the organism through the gene therapy. It may be the genetically modified organism, it may be the genetic modified clone. In the case of the molecular diagnosis, through the biotechnology process, it has become very easy to identify some of diseases, some of rare diseases, we can say rare diseases, and that can be easily treatable through the gene therapy as well. So in the case of the gene therapy, in the case of the molecular diagnosis, in the case of the personal genomics, where we are using the gene for day-to-day life, we can say, in the case of treatment of the health, so in the case of the personal genomics also, and these are the all are the part of the biopharma. These all are the part of the biopharma. Next, we can say in the case of the vaccination, everybody know during the time of the COVID, the increase in the production of the vaccination through even its messenger RNA vaccine, even its DNA vaccine, which are produced through the biotechnology. So in the case of the gene therapy, in the case of the molecular diagnosis, even it's the case of the, we can say, the personal genomics, genetic testing, or even in the case of the messenger RNA vaccine or the COVID vaccine. The next point we can say the stem cell research. Stem cell research, the stem cell are those cells which easily produce any organ of the human body, which can produce the organ of the human body. So in the case of the stem cell research, what can be the more usage of the stem cells? These technology used for the research in the case of the stem cell. Genetic engineered insulin. Before the biotechnology, the insulin production was very costly. After the introducing this technique of genetic engineering, the process for producing the insulin is become easy, and it can be easily produced through the genetic engineering process, where we are introducing a gene, so it can be easily produced into the body of the human or in the body of the animal. So it's through a process of the reverse transcriptase, and the complete process is known as the genetic engineering insulin. So this process having in the case of gene therapy, molecular diagnosis, vaccination, genetic engineering insulin, even in the case of the biopharmaceuticals, this technology has a huge advantage. In the case of the biopharmaceutical drugs, human compounds to cure the disease, the formation of the different kind of drugs, compounds, and the treatment of the disease. So these are the some of the benefits of the biotechnology in the field of biopharma. So if we see the complete demand of the question is asking specifically about the activity in the field of biotechnology. We discuss about why there is an increase in the activity, even through the academic, even through the research and developments, even through the tying up with the international institution or the funding. Then what's the region? Then we see about the regions in the different cases, the regions in the case of the agriculture, the industrial application, environment, medicine, or the research activity. Then finally, what's the benefit in the case of the biopharma? In the case of the biopharma, we can say genetic therapy or the gene therapy. In the case of molecular diagnosis of the different kind of disease, gene testing, vaccination, stem cell research, and the biopharmaceuticals. So these are some of the benefits of the biotechnology, and this is the complete demand of the question as we address in the 3 parts. Now, in the conclusion, what we will write in the conclusion? We can directly conclude the answer by writing the immense potential of this field, the immense potential in the case of agriculture, immense potential in the case of genetic engineering, in the case of the genetically modified organism, in the case of the environment, in the case of the production of the biodegradable plastics. So we can conclude in a positive note by addressing the huge potential of this field. Or if we want to suggest some of the way forwards, we can suggest like the investment, focus on the research and development in this field. So we can suggest these ways also. So this is the complete demand of the question. We will meet tomorrow again with the new question. Will be related to the science itself. Till then, please try to write the answer and submit to the Edukemy portal. We already covered the 44 question. We covered the 44 question till today. Please try to watch those videos as well. So you have a complete and a comprehensive idea how to attempt the question in the UPSC paper and what is the exactly demand of the UPSC. Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone. We will meet tomorrow again at 6 p.m. Thank you everyone.